First Contact Protocols. The Galactic Alliance monitoring station, Sentinel-7, had maintained its vigilant watch over the Orion Arm for over 3 centuries without incident. That changed on the day the impossible happened. High Commander Zena, we have an anomaly. Senior Observer Crix's crystalline form pulsed with agitation, its normally smooth purple surface rippling with concern. A vessel just appeared. No warp signature, no quantum wake, nothing. Zena glided across the observation deck, her anti-gravity harness humming softly. As the station's commander and a member of the ancient Vess species, she had witnessed countless first contacts, but something about this felt different. Show me. The holographic display materialized, revealing a sleek vessel unlike anything in Alliance records. Its hull seemed to drink in the starlight, making it difficult to focus on any single part of its design. What should have been straight lines seemed to bend at impossible angles, and sensor readings simply slid off its surface like water off glass. It's approximately 3 kilometers in length, Crix reported, but our size estimates keep shifting. The energy readings are off the scale, yet simultaneously, it's barely registering on our instruments. Zena's secondary brainstem tingled, a sure sign of danger. Have they made any aggressive moves? No, High Commander. They're just waiting, holding position exactly 100,000 kilometers from our nearest boundary marker. It's as if they're deliberately giving us space to react. Following first contact protocols, Zena authorized the standard greeting package, a compilation of peaceful intentions, basic mathematical principles, and cultural information from the 27 species that made up the Galactic Alliance. They waited. The response came not through conventional communications channels, but as a direct interface with their computer systems. Screens across the station flickered, and a message appeared in perfect Alliance standard. Greetings, High Commander Zena of the Vess. We are human. We come with warning and purpose. Request immediate conference with the Alliance Council. Time is of essence. The shock rippled through the command center. They hadn't included Zena's species or rank in the greeting package. They know us, Crix whispered, their crystalline form now a pale lavender of fear. They already know everything about us. Zena felt a chill run through both her brain stems. Send the alert to Alliance Central. Priority 1. And prepare my direct link to the Council. Within hours, the Alliance Council assembled in emergency session. Representatives from all 27 member species gathered virtually, their holograms filling the grand chamber of Alliance Central on Harmonious Prime. The human vessel had not moved from its position near Sentinel-7, but its mere presence had thrown the Alliance into chaos. Supreme Counselor Vex, a being of pure energy contained within an ancient mechanical shell, spoke first. They penetrated our most secure networks without effort. Our best encryption might as well have been primitive radio waves to them. The question is not whether they are advanced beyond our understanding. That much is clear. The question is why they have chosen this moment to reveal themselves. The humans claim they come with a warning, Zena reported to the Council. But they insist on delivering it in person to the full Council. It could be a trap, warned Counselor Grax of the warrior, Ketal. His hologram's battle armor gleamed with the medals of 1,000 victories. We should mobilize the fleet against an enemy that can bypass our most advanced cybersecurity as if it didn't exist. Counselor Lana of the Wispy cut in, her ethereal form shimming with skepticism. If they meant us harm, we would already be defeated. The debate raged for hours, but in the end, curiosity and necessity won out over caution. The Council agreed to meet the humans, but not at Alliance Central. Instead, they chose neutral ground, an ancient space station called the Nexus, built by a long-vanished species. When the human delegation arrived at the Nexus, none of the Council members were prepared for what they saw. The humans looked remarkably ordinary, bipedal, roughly symmetrical, without any obvious technological augmentations. Their ambassador, a woman who introduced herself as Dr. Sarah Chen, wore a simple white uniform with no visible weapons or defensive systems. "Honorable members of the Alliance Council," Dr. Chen began, her voice calm but urgent. "We have watched your civilization grow for the past 300 years. We have learned your languages, studied your cultures, and protected your borders from threats you never knew existed. We chose to remain hidden not out of fear or malice, but because we needed to be certain." "Certain of what?" Supreme Counselor Vex demanded. "Certain that you would survive long enough to help us fight what's coming." Dr. Chen gestured, and a holographic map of the galaxy appeared in the chamber center. Vast sections of it were marked in red. "These are the dead zones, regions where all intelligent life has been systematically wiped out. The pattern is expanding, moving inexorably toward both your space and ours. We fought them before, barely surviving, but we cannot hope to defeat them alone." The council chamber erupted in questions and demands for proof. Dr. Chen waited patiently until the chaos subsided. "We call them the Harvesters. They don't communicate. They don't negotiate. They consume all advanced life they encounter, absorbing technology and biological material to fuel their expansion. Their next wave will reach Alliance space in less than 5 years." Zena felt her primary heart skip a beat. How can we possibly prepare for such a threat in so little time? Dr. Chen's expression softened slightly. "That's why we're here. Humanity has spent centuries preparing for this moment. We have technology we're ready to share, strategies we've developed, and defenses we've created. But we need your help. The Harvesters can be defeated, but only if we stand together." As the humans' words sank in, the council chamber grew quiet. They all understood that the galaxy as they knew it had changed forever. The question was no longer whether to trust these mysterious humans, but how quickly they could learn from them. The age of isolation was over. The real test of the Alliance was about to begin. The hidden truth. 3 days after humanity's revelation to the Alliance Council, the Nexus Station became a hub of feverish activity. In a secure chamber deep within its ancient halls, Dr. Sarah Chen stood before a group of the Alliance's top scientists and military strategists, preparing to unveil centuries of human intelligence gathering. The holographic display showed a massive starship graveyard floating in the void between galaxies. Twisted hulks of vessels, some larger than small moons, drifted in eternal silence. The assembled aliens watched in horror as the camera zoomed in on the wreckage, revealing technology from civilizations that had vanished so long ago they had passed into legend. "This is what first alerted us to the Harvesters' existence," Dr. Chen explained. "We found this graveyard 200 years ago, during our first attempts at intergalactic exploration. Every ship here was killed the same way, their energy systems completely drained, their crews," she paused, choosing her words carefully, "processed." Lead researcher Trill, a wispy scientist whose gaseous form swirled with anxiety, moved closer to the display. "These designs, some of these ships belong to the precursors themselves. Are you saying the Harvesters destroyed them?" "Yes," Chen confirmed. "The precursors weren't the advanced benefactors your histories paint them as. They were refugees, running from the Harvesters. The ruins and artifacts they left scattered across our galaxy weren't meant to guide younger civilizations. They were warnings we all failed to understand." The revelation sent shockwaves through the assembled group. The precursors had been viewed as nearly godlike beings who had mysteriously vanished at the height of their power. Learning they had actually fled in terror from an unstoppable enemy shattered thousands of years of assumptions. Admiral Krav of the Kettl Defense Force, his armored exoskeleton clicking as he moved, stepped forward. "You said you fought these Harvesters before. How did humanity survive when the precursors couldn't?" Chen's expression darkened. "Barely. 80 years ago, a Harvester scout force found Earth. We were lucky. It was just a small group, probably an advanced reconnaissance unit. But the battle nearly destroyed us." A holographic display shifted, showing grainy footage of massive geometric shapes descending through Earth's atmosphere. The shapes seemed to defy physics, their surfaces rippling with impossible patterns that hurt to look at. As they approached Earth's cities, every electronic device for hundreds of kilometers simply died. They tried to shut down our technology, to leave us defenseless, Chen continued. But humanity had a secret weapon, our inability to accept defeat. When our advanced technology failed, we fought back with chemistry, with kinetic weapons, with improvised explosives. We discovered that the harvesters, for all their advancement, had forgotten the basics of physical combat. They had evolved beyond the need for conventional warfare. And that was their weakness. The footage showed human fighters launching what looked like primitive missiles at the harvester ships. But these weren't ordinary weapons. They were delivery systems for specially engineered compounds that ate through the harvesters' supposedly impenetrable hulls like acid through paper. We lost 3 billion people in that battle, Chen said quietly. But we learned. We adapted. We took what we learned from their technology and combined it with our own innovations. That's why we've spent the last 80 years preparing not just ourselves, but watching over your civilizations too. We knew that when the main harvester force arrived, we would need allies who could think differently, fight differently. Professor Xell, a towering insectoid whose scientific achievements were legendary even among the Alliance's brightest minds, chittered thoughtfully. This is why humans have such unique technology. You weren't just advancing along your own path. You were deliberately developing countermeasures to harvester capabilities. Exactly, Chen nodded. Our quantum phase drives that let us appear and disappear at will, developed to counter their ability to track conventional FTL signatures, are neural disruption fields, designed to interfere with their hive-mind coordination. Every major human technological advancement in the past 8 decades has been focused on one goal: survival. Admiral Krabb's battle computer hummed as it processed the tactical implications. You said we have 5 years. What do you propose we do with that time? Chen smiled for the first time since the meeting began. We're going to teach you everything we know about fighting the harvesters. But more importantly, we're going to learn from you. Each of your species has unique abilities, technologies, and ways of thinking that we humans never imagined. Together, we can develop defenses and strategies that neither humans nor the Alliance could create alone. The holographic display changed one final time, showing a massive space station under construction in orbit around a black hole. This is Project Phoenix, Chen explained, a joint human alliance defense platform that combines the best of all our technologies. It's just the beginning. We have similar facilities planned for every major system in both human and alliance space. As the implications sank in, the assembled aliens began to understand why humanity had chosen this moment to reveal themselves. The harvesters were coming, yes, but for the first time in galactic history, there was hope of stopping them. Lead researcher Trill's gaseous form pulsed with excitement. When do we begin? We already have, Chen replied, activating a hidden panel in the chamber's wall. It slid open to reveal a vast laboratory filled with hybrid human-alien technology. Welcome to humanity's real first contact initiative. Let's get to work. The next few months would reshape the galaxy in ways none of them could imagine. But one thing was certain: when the harvesters arrived, they would face something they had never encountered before: a unified galaxy that refused to be harvested. Preparation for war. The massive shipyards orbiting Proxima Centauri had never seen such diverse activity. Vessels of every Alliance species crowded the construction arrays, each being retrofitted with hybrid human-alien technology. At the center of this organized chaos, the prototype battleship Unity took shape, its hull a seamless fusion of human ingenuity and alien engineering. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood at the observation deck, watching teams of human and alien engineers working in perfect synchronization. A Kettl construction crew was installing their revolutionary shield matrices into human-designed quantum field generators. Nearby, wispy energy specialists merged their plasma consciousness with human AI systems, creating weapon interfaces that could think and adapt in real time. "Impressive progress," came a familiar voice. Dr. Chen approached, accompanied by Grand Admiral Venna of the Alliance fleet, the Arcturian's bioluminescent skin pulsing with shades of deep blue, a sign of intense concentration. 3 months of non-stop work, Maya replied, gesturing to the Unity. "But we're still behind schedule. We've encountered some resistance," Venna admitted, her translator converting the musical tones of her native language. "The Consortium of Inner Worlds is claiming we're violating dozens of technology-sharing treaties. They're threatening to withdraw from the Alliance entirely." Maya frowned. The Consortium, comprising some of the oldest Alliance members, had been the most vocal opponents of human integration. They view humanity's rapid technological advancement as unnatural and dangerous. "Show them," Dr. Chen said quietly. Venna's skin rippled with uncertainty. "Are you sure? The simulation is disturbing. They need to understand what we're facing." The next day, the Consortium's representatives gathered in the Nexus's main amphitheater. Maya stood beside Dr. Chen as the lights dimmed and the holographic simulation began. The display showed a standard Alliance world, beautiful, peaceful, advanced. Then the harvesters arrived. The simulation, built from actual footage of the Earth battle, showed in horrifying detail how conventional defenses failed. Cities went dark, orbital platforms fell silent, and the processing began. "This simulation shows what happens if we face the harvesters with current Alliance technology," Chen explained, her voice cutting through the stunned silence. "Now let me show you another possibility." The simulation reset, but this time the planet was prepared. Human quantum phase generators protected key infrastructure from energy drainage. Kettle shield matrices deflected the harvesters' initial assault. Wispy enhanced AI systems adapted faster than the enemy could react. And most importantly, the defenders fought as one unified force, each species' strengths covering others' weaknesses. "The choice is yours," Chen concluded. "Stand alone and fall, or stand together and fight." The Consortium's opposition crumbled that day. Within hours, their considerable resources and expertise joined the war effort. The preparation entered high gear. In the weeks that followed, Project Phoenix expanded beyond anyone's expectations. The original defense platform spawned a network of similar installations throughout Alliance space. Each one became a center of innovation, where different species learned to combine their unique abilities in ways never before imagined. The Kettle, master strategists, worked with human tactical AI to develop battle plans that adapted in real time. The Wispy's energy-based consciousness merged with human quantum computers, creating defense systems that could predict and counter harvester attacks before they happened. Even the crystalline Trill, usually devoted to pure scientific research, found ways to weaponize their understanding of subatomic physics. But it wasn't just about technology. Humanity's greatest contribution was perhaps their perspective, their ability to think laterally, to find unconventional solutions to impossible problems. They taught the Alliance species to question their assumptions, to look beyond traditional approaches. "The harvesters expect us to fight like the precursors did," Maya explained during a strategy session. "They expect orderly, predictable responses. Instead, we'll give them chaos. Controlled chaos, but chaos nonetheless." The Unity embodied this philosophy. Its weapons included everything from quantum phase torpedoes to kinetic kill vehicles, simple rocks accelerated to relativistic speeds. Its defense systems combined advanced energy shields with layers of ablative armor. It could fight at range or in close combat, adapt its tactics mid-battle, and most importantly, survive when its primary systems were knocked out. As the deadline approached, the combined fleet grew. Ships of all sizes and configurations filled the staging areas, each modified with the best technologies every species had to offer. Training exercises became more complex, pushing the limits of what was possible when different species worked together. But time was running out. Long-range sensors detected the first signs of the harvester fleet, massive disturbances in subspace, heading straight for Alliance territory. They would arrive sooner than expected. In her quarters aboard the Unity, Maya reviewed the latest reports. The Alliance was as ready as it could be, but doubt gnawed at her. Would it be enough? Had they prepared sufficiently? A soft chime interrupted her thoughts, a priority message from deep space sensors. Her blood ran cold as she read the data. The Harvesters hadn't sent a fleet. They had sent an armada. Thousands of ships, larger than anything they had simulated, and they would arrive in less than 24 hours. Maya immediately contacted Dr. Chen and Admiral Venna. As she waited for their response, she looked out at the assembled fleet. Humans and aliens working together, preparing to face an enemy that had terrorized the galaxy for millennia. They weren't ready, couldn't be ready for what was coming. But they would fight anyway. Because that's what humans did. And now, that's what the Alliance would do too. The final battle was about to begin. The enemy arrives. The combined fleet hung in the darkness of space, a vast array of ships stretching across 3 light minutes of territory. At its heart, the Unity waited alongside 5 massive Alliance command carriers. Captain Maya Rodriguez stood on her bridge, watching the tactical display as the final ships moved into position. Multiple subspace ruptures detected, announced Lieutenant Commander Kira, her trill crystalline form pulsing with nervous energy. Harvester signatures confirmed. They're coming in exactly where we predicted. Space itself seemed to tear apart as the first Harvester ships emerged. They were enormous geometric shapes that defied conventional physics, their surfaces rippling with patterns that hurt to look at. Behind them came more and more, until the sensors could barely keep count. 5,642 hostile vessels detected, Kira reported, her voice steady despite the overwhelming odds. Their energy signatures they're stronger than anything in our simulations. Maya keyed the fleet-wide channel. All ships, this is Unity Actual. Execute Operation Thunderbolt. Phase 1 commence. The first wave of Alliance ships, seemingly scattered and disorganized, began to retreat. The Harvesters, true to their nature, began pursuit. Their massive ships accelerated, breaking into hunting groups, just as human tactical analysis had predicted they would. They're taking the bait. Admiral Venna's voice came through the command channel. All ships maintain discipline. Let them think they're hurting us. The retreat continued for almost an hour, the Alliance fleet appearing to barely stay ahead of their pursuers. The Harvesters grew bolder, their formations spreading out as they sought to encircle their prey. Enemy fleet has reached optimal dispersal, Kira announced. 90% of their ships are within the target zone. Maya took a deep breath. Execute Phase 2. Across the battlefield, hundreds of seemingly empty regions of space suddenly lit up. Project Phoenix's hidden defense platforms, their quantum signatures masked until this moment, powered up simultaneously. Each platform generated an immense gravitational field, creating a complex web of distortions throughout the combat zone. The Harvester ships, caught in the artificial gravity web, began to slow. Their perfect formations wavered as they fought against forces they hadn't detected until it was too late. Phase 3, all ships engage, Maya ordered. The retreating Alliance fleet suddenly turned as one. Ships of every size and configuration opened fire with weapons that combined the best of human and alien technology. Quantum phase torpedoes bypassed Harvester shields completely. Wispy energy beams, guided by human AI, found weak points that shouldn't have existed. Kettle magnetic disruptors tore through hull plating that had seemed impenetrable. But the Harvesters weren't defeated so easily. Their ships began to adapt, their surfaces shifting to absorb or deflect the attacks. Energy beams of impossible power lashed out, destroying dozens of Alliance vessels in seconds. They're adapting faster than predicted, Kira warned. Shield effectiveness dropping across the fleet. Maya watched as the battle devolved into chaos. This was the moment they had prepared for, when plans met reality and adaptation became key to survival. Implement Chaos Protocol, she ordered. All ships, switch to autonomous response patterns. Use your judgment, use your strengths. fight your way. This was humanity's true gift to the Alliance, not just technology or tactics, but the ability to think independently, to adapt on the fly. Each ship began fighting in its own way, making it impossible for the Harvester's hive mind to predict and counter their moves. A group of wispy ships turned themselves into living energy weapons, merging with their human-designed quantum drives to phase in and out of normal space, striking from impossible angles. Kettle dreadnoughts plowed straight through Harvester formations, their reinforced hulls grinding enemy ships to pieces while their weapons blazed. Human vessels performed maneuvers that seemed suicidal until the moment they worked, their crews pushing both ships and physics to their limits. The Unity itself became a focal point of the battle, its hybrid systems allowing it to coordinate the chaos while remaining unpredictable. Maya watched as her crew, human and alien alike, worked in perfect synchronization, each contributing their unique perspectives and abilities to the fight. But the Harvesters were far from defeated. As their initial formations broke apart, individual ships began showing signs of intelligence that hadn't been seen before. They were learning, adapting not just tactically but strategically. New energy signature detected. Kira called out urgently. Something massive is coming through. The subspace rupture that formed dwarfed all the others. From it emerged a Harvester vessel that defied description. A vast, shifting mass of geometric shapes that seemed to exist in more dimensions than should be possible. Mother of God, Maya whispered. That's their command ship. The massive vessel's arrival changed the battle instantly. The remaining Harvester ships began moving with renewed purpose, their attacks becoming more coordinated, more lethal. Alliance ships started falling at an alarming rate. Fleet casualties at 30% and climbing, Kira reported. We can't sustain this level of combat. Maya watched the tactical display, her mind racing. The original battle plan was falling apart, but that's exactly what they had prepared for. She opened a channel to Dr. Chen's vessel. Doctor, is the package ready? Ready but untested, Chen replied. We have no idea what it will do to our own ships. We're out of options. Maya switched to the fleet channel. All ships, fall back to minimum safe distance. Prepare to initiate Project Omega. As the Alliance fleet began to disengage, the Unity turned to face the Harvester command ship directly. In its heart, a device that combined human quantum technology with wispy energy manipulation and trill particle physics began to power up. They had one chance to end this, one chance to prove that the combined ingenuity of humanity and its allies could overcome even the most ancient and powerful enemy. Maya looked at her crew, human, alien, all of them united in this moment, and gave the order that would change the galaxy forever. Execute Project Omega. Unity in diversity. Project Omega activated with a whisper rather than a roar. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The Unity hung in space, facing the massive Harvester command ship, as seconds ticked by in tense silence. Then reality itself began to unravel. The device, combining human quantum mechanics with wispy energy manipulation and trill particle physics, created something entirely new. A cascading breakdown of space-time coherence that targeted specific quantum frequencies used by Harvester technology. The effect started small, a shimmer around the Unity that quickly spread outward. When it reached the first Harvester ship, the geometric patterns that defined its hull began to stutter and fade. The impossible angles that hurt to look at suddenly became all too possible, all too real, and in becoming real, they ceased to exist. Energy readings from Harvester vessels dropping across the board, Kira reported, her crystalline form vibrating with excitement. Their quantum matrices are collapsing. The Harvester command ship reacted immediately, its vast form shifting and changing as it tried to adapt to this new threat. But for the first time in its ancient existence, adaptation wasn't enough. The very principles it used to exist were being rewritten. Maya watched in awe as Project Omega's effect spread through the battlefield. Harvester ships didn't explode or break apart. They simply ceased to be, their ultra-advanced technology unable to maintain coherence in the new laws of physics being locally enforced. "All Alliance vessels, maintain safe distance," she ordered. "Let the effect propagate." The Harvester command ship made one final attempt to save itself. It launched what appeared to be a concentrated beam of pure probability manipulation, a weapon that should have reversed Project Omega's effect. Instead, the beam intersected with the quantum cascade and accelerated its spread. "They don't understand." Dr. Chen's voice came through the comm, filled with satisfaction. "They've spent so long relying on their advanced technology that they've forgotten the fundamental rules of the universe. Sometimes the simplest solution is the most effective." Within minutes, the battle was over. Where thousands of Harvester ships had been, now there was only empty space and rapidly dissipating energy readings. The combined fleet hung in stunned silence, witnesses to the end of a threat that had terrorized the galaxy for millennia. Admiral Vena's voice broke the silence. "Unity actual. Confirm status of Project Omega." Maya checked her readings. The effect was already beginning to fade, the normal laws of physics reasserting themselves. "Devices powering down naturally, Admiral. Local space returning to normal parameters. All ships begin damage assessment and casualty reports," Vena ordered. "And well done to all of you." The aftermath of the battle brought its own challenges. The Alliance fleet had suffered heavy losses. Nearly 40% of their ships had been destroyed or badly damaged. But as recovery operations began, something remarkable happened. Ships of different species, once strictly segregated by their government's protocols, began working together without hesitation. Wispy energy beings helped power damaged human vessels. Human engineers worked alongside Keptal crews to repair alien technology. The boundaries between species began to blur as they all focused on a single goal: helping their fellow warriors. A week later, Maya stood in the grand chamber of the Nexus, now repurposed as a memorial hall. Holographic displays showed the names of every ship and crew member lost in the battle, while below, representatives from every Alliance species gathered to discuss the future. "The Harvesters are gone," Dr. Chen addressed the assembly. "But they weren't the only threat in this galaxy. More importantly, we've discovered something far more valuable than victory. We've discovered how much stronger we are together." The Alliance Council, once divided by ancient traditions and rivalries, had been transformed by the crucible of battle. They unanimously voted to maintain and expand the integration of their species' technologies and cultures. Project Phoenix's facilities would be converted into research centers where scientists of all species could work together to solve the galaxy's problems. The Unity and its sister ships would become the core of a new combined fleet, dedicated not to war, but to exploration and defense. Maya found Dr. Chen after the ceremony, standing at a viewport that overlooked the shipyards where new vessels were already under construction. Ships that incorporated the best aspects of every species' technology and philosophy. "Did you know?" Maya asked. "When humans first discovered the Harvesters, did you know it would end like this?" Chen smiled. "We hoped. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our adaptability. It's our ability to bring people together, to help others see past their differences and find common ground. We didn't just want to defeat the Harvesters, we wanted to build something better in their wake." Maya looked out at the ships under construction. Each one was unique, a testament to the creativity and cooperation of multiple species working together. The galaxy was entering a new age, not one of fear and isolation, but of unity and infinite possibility. "So what's next?" she asked. "There are still unexplored regions of space," Chen replied. "Still mysteries to solve and challenges to face. But now we'll face them together, not as humans or aliens, but as a true galactic civilization." The Unity's quantum communications array chimed, signaling an incoming message. New orders, probably. There were still Harvester remnants to clean up, damaged worlds to help rebuild. Maya smiled. Whatever came next, they would face it the same way they had faced the Harvesters, together, each contributing their unique strengths to the greater whole. As she headed back to her ship, Maya reflected that this was humanity's greatest victory, not destroying an ancient enemy, but building something new. A future where the differences between species were no longer barriers but bridges, where unity didn't mean uniformity, and where the combined potential of all sentient beings could finally be realized. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly what they had fought for.